And thank you for joining me again tonight for the Ultimate Racing League charity race. This is the finish off from last week. Those that watched last week, you may remember we had some issues with the internet, and about half an hour left of the race, most of us got kicked out of the lobby. In fact, all of us got kicked out of the lobby at one point. So the race was sort of abandoned at that point. So we are back tonight to finish it off. We have a half-hour sprint race. We're going to be covering the qualifying. We're going to have about 10 minutes of qualifying, and then into a half-hour race. As you can see, for those of you that race this track on a regular basis, you will see we are at Spa. Again, same track as last week. So yes, we are in Belgium, we are at Spa, and it is the charity race, so just over 4 miles and 20 turns in 30 minutes. I'm not sure how that equates to how many laps. We shall see as we go along. If you do want to donate to the charities, it's not too late to do so. If you have a look in the description on my channel, you can see all the details are there. I will tell you what it is a little bit later on, so if you've got a pen and paper to hand, you can write it down. If not, have a look in the description. All details are there. So the guys are out just having a bit of a practice, warming some tyres up, and they're going to be out doing the qualifying very shortly. I think we're just waiting for 1 or 2 guys to come into the lobby. We have had to have some replacement drivers, as some of the guys from last week couldn't make it tonight, but as I say, there have been substitutes that have stepped in, very kindly stepped in to take their place. So I do believe we are just waiting for a couple of guys to join. So anyway, if you've got that pen and paper, you can donate at gofund.me/CA13CE28. That's gofund.me/CA13CE28. And that's if you do want to make a donation, so it is not too late. All proceeds go to the winning team's chosen charity, and there are some great charities being represented in this race, and you'll see from the liveries on the car which ones they are. So as we're just following Dyson round, you can see I think that is the Bloodmobile. Yeah, that's the Bloodmobile. So that's the charity they're representing. There was another lobby ran last week that did actually run to completion, so the winners from this league and all the points will be added up to give us a final overall winning team. And as I say, it is their chosen charity that will receive all the money for it. Just a quick rundown of the actual race itself. As I say, it's going to be 10 minutes qualifying, I believe 10 minutes qualifying, and then a 30-minute race. It is a mandatory pit stop. Any tyre compound can be used, however the guys will have to make a stop at some point, and I don't know if you've just seen that, but qualifying starts in a couple of minutes. So anyway, as I say, any tyre compound to be used, but there is a mandatory pit stop. I've been told it is going to be during the day, so hopefully we will get to see all of the action and it won't suddenly become dark, although we are at Spa, so you never know. Same with the weather, very unpredictable. Don't think it's scheduled for rain, but like I say, we are in Belgium. So we're just waiting for qualifying to start. So we'll just have a quick look at some of the cars and some of the livery. Some of the guys have done some great work on that, on the livery. So you can see Bailey's car there for Macmillan in the Avensis. We've got Toten, he's in the McLaren, and that's Great Ormond Street Hospital, I believe. Yes, it is Great Ormond Street Hospital. My niece actually works there, so even more we're rooting for you, Toten. As I say, my niece Megan, if you're listening, shout out to you and all your colleagues that work at Great Ormond Street Hospital. Neil Farmer, I don't know what's happened to the livery on Neil's car. Paul is Toten's partner, also in the McLaren. Then we've got Lee Fitzy in the Bloodmobile as well, in the Mercedes AMG. We've got Flash Mexi also in the Merc. Young Lives Against Cancer, I believe that one is. Another fantastic charity. We've got Unforgiven in the BMW. Again, Macmillan, it does look like Macmillan is racing for. Oh, I'm pressing too many buttons now. So let's just have a quick look. Jerry Smiles also in the Macmillan. Just have a quick run through the buttons, make sure they're working properly. So we should be underway for qualifying. Although we do only have 11 guys in the lobby, so we could just be waiting for another couple. Let's just have a look and see who's coming in. So yeah, just waiting for qualifying to start. This is the Ultimate Racing League charity race. We're starting a little bit earlier tonight because this is also this first night of the BTCC Replica Challenge League races. There are 4 leagues taking part in that, and quite a few of the guys that are racing tonight are also in those leagues, so we need to get this race done so they can get off, have a quick practice, and then jump in the cars ready to start the league races. I'll actually be covering League 1 this year, and I should have the replays up and ready for the guys to view some point tomorrow morning, hopefully. I know Firepower, my colleague Firepower, he I think is covering League 2. Paul, I'm not sure, he's going to be covering either 3 or 4, and I can't think who the other chap is, and he'll be telling me off for it to cover the other League 3 or 4. I'm just trying to read some quick messages just to make sure everything is going according to plan. So Lee Fitzy has decided he's just going to park, it looks like, at the bottom of Eau Rouge, and apologies if I'm still saying that wrong. Mudru trying to get as many penalties as possible. Finally, we are now finally going to start qualifying. So we're just sat with Bailey at the minute. When we get out on track, we can start following some of the other guys. So 10-minute qualifying to determine their start positions on the grid for the actual race. So we'll just we will have a rundown of who's in the lobby, tyres, etc. that they're using. It'll be the usual case. Tyres that you qualify on will be the tyres that you start the race on. So as you can see, Bailey's gone out on racing softs. Neil also on softs, Dyson has chosen softs. I think most of the guys will have chosen softs. There seems to be a problem with poise. We're stuck there, so Paul on softs, Toten softs, Unforgiven softs. Let's try and find somebody who's on anything different as we go down the order. No, it does look like everybody is going to go, excuse me, softs for the first stint. So good job this is an outlap. Paul picking up 3-second penalty, not what you want. So the outlap, just get those tyres up to temperature. So Toten will be the first across that start finish line to start his hot lap. Toten is a bit of a favourite here, very, very fast driver from Hungary. Although we do have a lot of fast guys out there. So just following Toten as he enters the bus stop, he'll come out and it's foot to the floor to start his hot lap. And we're off. We'll just follow Toten for a little while and then we'll go down the order. Fantastic looking car, the McLaren. I'll actually be using that one myself in League 2 along with Paul. So Paul's getting a bit of extra practice in tonight. As I say, both Toten and Paul racing for Great Ormond Street Hospital. So we'll just have a quick flick down the order. So Unforgiven has gone out in second place. Woodrow, Bailey, then it looks a little bit congested. Stealth and Jerry Smiles, you need to get a bit of a gap, guys. You're going to hold each other up. Looks like Thomas has picked up a half-second penalty already. So Jerry Smiles, bit of room in front of him, which is what you want. Neil in 8th, Dyson 9th. We've got Derview has stepped in for tonight's race. Got Lee Fitzy, Flash Mexi and Paul. So back up to Toten as he goes through the pit stop, keeping it nice and steady. Good stuff, Toten. He's going to cross the finish line with a 2:17. So that's Unforgiven with a 2:18. So Woodrow with a 2:17.9. A bit crowded there as they cross the line there. So Stealth with a 2:24. Thomas with a 2:25. Just waiting for Paul to cross the line. So Toten is our current guy on pole position with a 2:17.2. Flash Mexi with a 2:19. Neil Farmack with a 2:19. I thought Neil might have been up there, at least in the top 4. Mind you, he still might be. There's still about 4 minutes to go on this. Derview, not a very fast driver. Be interesting to see him out there in that Super, see how he can do against some of these guys. Jerry Smiles to the 221, bit off the pace at the minute. Same with Stealth. Thomas at 225, so these guys need to make this lap count, although it is very crowded out there. I think for qualifying it's always best to have a bit of space a bit of space in front and a little bit of space behind as well. So back up to Toten, he's doing it right, a lot of space. Now can he beat his previous lap? Ooh, but a bit of a twitch on the way out. Yes, he has. So Toten with a 217.1. Let's see how Bailey's done. 217.5. 217.4. So he did better that lap. Wardrobe 217.7, so they seem to be the top three at the minute. Unforgiven on a 218.1. Dyson 218.4 is his best lap so far. Only got a couple of minutes left. Still very crowded. Mid-pack. Lee Fitz with a 218.5, currently 6 on the grid. Paul just behind him, 218.6. Thomas currently 10th with a 219.6. There's a lot of guys in the 218s, 219s. Neil way down in 11th. We've got Derview picking up penalties. He does like to pick up penalties, does Derview. Currently 12th, and with a half-second penalty, that's not going to help his cause. So about a minute and a half left of this qualifying, so if the guys are going to make an impact, they need to do it on this next lap. And Stealth currently 13th on the grid. So back up to Toten. He will definitely get one more lap out of this. So as it stands, we've got Toten on pole position, we've got Unforgiven in second with a 217.4, we've got Bailey with a 217.2, but the time is deleted, must have been for track limits. Got Wadru currently in 4th on the grid. Dyson currently sitting 5th. We've got Lee Fitzy currently 7th. I don't think he's going to improve his time this time round. Paul currently 8th. Jerry Smiles currently 9th. Flash Mexi is 10th. Thomas 11th, Derview 12th, Stealth 13th. I think Stealth has had enough of qualifying. He's just decided he's going to wait. He's going to wait there for the timer to run down, I believe, unless he's having some issues. I hope not. I hope everything's alright in that car for Stealth. He will be starting at the back of the pack. So back up to our provisional pole leader at the minute, which is Toten. It doesn't look like he's going to get caught either. The 2:17.159. Excuse me. So if it stays like this, we're going to have a rundown of the grid then. So Toten will be on pole, Unforgiven alongside him in second, Bailey third, Neil Farmack fourth, that's more like it from Neil. Woodrow will be fifth, Dyson sixth, Lee Fitzy will be seventh, Paul will be eighth, Joey Smiles ninth, Flashmax 10th, Thomas 11th, Derview 12th, and Stealth still parked up in 13th. So I do believe that is qualifying finished. Everybody slowed down, the hazards are on. That slows your car down, we all know that. You put your hazards on, you instantly slow down. So we shall get this race started momentarily. Like I said before, quick rundown, it is a half-hour sprint race. There is a mandatory pit stop. Any compound tyres can be used. We've been told there's not going to be any rain, but then again, like I say, we're in Belgium, so who knows. And it should stay like daylight. If you was watching last week, you would have seen we had all sorts of problems. There was 2 live streams going out. One was showing it midnight, the other one was showing it sort of mid-morning. We've got some drivers in the dark, some in the daylight. Let's hope we get nothing like that this week. There was an issue, I believe, during the week with lag. I'm hoping that PD have sorted that out, and we're not going to have anything like that tonight. We're going to have a good race. As I say, it is for charity, so like I said before, it is not too late to donate. So if you want to have a look at the description on the channel, you can see the GoFundMe page, but it is gofund.me/CA13CE28. That's if you do want to make a donation, so I hope you can. All donations go to the winning team's chosen charity, and as you've seen, there are some great charities being represented. So we're just waiting for the race to start. So we've got, as I say, Toten on pole. Woodrow is not second. That is just how it is listed, everybody, I think. Unless Woodrow put a blister in last lap in, but we shall see. When the race gets started, we shall see. So we'll just wait for the host to reset everything, and then we can get this race finally finished, get the points sorted, and get the money off to our chosen charity. So as I say, we're at Belgium, we're at Spa. It's just over 4 miles long, 4.352 miles to be precise. 20 turns. It is a track that's on the F1 calendar. For those that follow F1, you will know this track well. Okay, so I'm going to go into spectate mode. I've got to alter all of this lot again, which is a bit of a nuisance, but hey ho. So we'll wait for the lights to go. So 5 lights. That was a long delay, or it seemed a long delay, but we are away and we are racing. Woodrow taking up an early lead from Toten. That was a fantastic start from Woodrow. Let's just make sure everybody's got through. It does look like they have. Toten putting in a challenge though. He's on Kemmel Straight and he's put a challenge in. The power of the McLaren has got him back in front. Woodrow drops into second, Bailey into third. We've got Thomas, made a good start as well, into fourth. All very tight on the first lap. We're just going to go down the order. So Thomas in 4th, Neil in 5th. We've got Paul in 6th. Paul must have made a good start as well. He is being challenged by Unforgiven though. We've got Flash Mexi in 8th, Derview in 9th. Then we've got Dyson and Lee Fitz 10 and 11. And Stealth in 13th. So just up to our current leader, Toten. Woodrow all over the back of him though, he's not letting him get away. Likewise Bailey putting the pressure on to Woodrow. Let's just jump on board with Woodrow just for a minute as we're following Toten to finish this first lap. As we're coming down towards the bus stop turn. Very tight chicane, easy on the accelerator. Bailey seems to have got a little bit closer, everybody through though. Thomas still in 4th with Neil Farmack, chasing him down in 5th, Paul in 6th. Unforgiven now in 7th, although he's got Flash Mexi putting a challenge in. Is he going to have a look, or is he just going to stick behind? I think he's just going to stick behind as they go through the Rouge. Just going to stay with these two. Flash Mexi really letting Unforgiven know he's there. Sitting in that slipstream. He's not close enough, I don't think. Good defending from Unforgiven though, taking the inside line. That's good defending. That's just frustrating Flash Mexi. Let's just drop a little bit further back. Derview in the Supra. He's got Dyson all over the back of him. Trying to force an error. Oh, looks like Flash Mexi went a bit wide there. Then we've got Jerry Smiles, Lee Fitzy and Stealth at the back. Oh, and Stealth has picked up a penalty as well. Unlucky Stealth. It looks all very tight at the door. So now Toten starting to stretch his legs a little bit. Then we've got 4 cars there. We've got Bailey, Woodrow, Thomas and Neil. All very tight. Looks like Neil Farmack trying to make a move on Thomas. Woodrow having a look at Bailey as well. Keep it tight, nice through the chicane guys, yes. They're through, yeah. We've got Paul just sat behind this group of 4 as well. So it is all still pretty tight. Thomas having a look at the inside of Woodrow. As we come to this tight right-hander. Now I'm sure the tactics is to get into the slipstream as they go through the Rouge and then make a move on the Kemmel Straight. Remember, the guys have got to make a pit stop at some point. So we're just coming up to 5 minutes into this race. Thomas not getting close enough to Woodrow to make a move on him this time. Paul, Neil and Unforgiven all having a good battle there. In 5, 6 and 7. Paul doing a good job of keeping Unforgiven behind him. Then we've got a bit of a gap then to Derview. Currently sitting in 8th. He's got Flash Mexi behind him. Got Dyson all over the back of Flash Mexi. Dyson though with a half-second penalty. Looks like Flash Mexi's having a look at Derview. He has. That was a great move from Flash Mexi. That pushes Derview down to 9th, and he's now going to have Dyson pushing on him. Although Dyson has got to serve that half-second penalty. So you can see the penalty bar starting to fill up on Dyson's car there, so the brakes have suddenly slammed on. So that'll give Derview a chance just to pull an extra few metres ahead. Can Jerry Smiles take advantage? Yes, he can. So Jerry Smiles takes full advantage of that penalty that Dyson had. So it's all changed for those guys. Derview having a look at the inside of Flash Mexi. This is where it all seems to be happening at the minute. I'm just going to go up and have a look at see what's happening at the front. So Toten trying to get away from Bailey. Bailey doing a good job to keep with him. Woodrow in 3rd. Thomas in 4th. Neil in 5th. Paul 6th. So a good couple of car lengths apart for all of these guys. None of them close enough to make a move on another. Unforgiven there in 7th, although he's got right at the back of Paul. Great delivery on that BMW, representing him. Oh, and Unforgiven. Oh, he's had a right moment there. Oh, that's so unlucky for Unforgiven. He was on a fantastic race up to that point. Come on, get yourself back on track. Oh, that's dropped him right back down the order now to 12th. That was very unlucky for Unforgiven. He's going to be cursing in the cockpit of that car, I'm sure. He just needs to take a deep breath, get himself back in the go. Oh, Jerry Smiles has had a bit of a moment as well. It's all kicking off all of a sudden. So Jerry's parked up. Come on, get yourself back on the track. This way, face this way. So with the BMWs then. Is anybody watching will be saying, I'm not glad I didn't pick the bloody BMW. So that's both Jerry and Unforgiven in the BMs, both coming off within seconds of each other. In front of Unforgiven though, we've got Lee Fitz. He's going to be serving a penalty, so that'll let Unforgiven catch up with him a little bit. Got a lot of work to do now as Unforgiven, same as Jerry Smiles. Oh, there's a good battle going on here. Flash Mexi, Derview running wide there. We've got Dyson in this mix as well. Derview picking up a penalty as he ran wide, can't get my words out. Back into that Mercedes, having a bit of a moan there, you could see twitching. So Derview's got the inside line. Flash Mexi going the long way round. We've got Dyson in the middle. As they enter Eau Rouge, I'm going to keep saying it like that, whether it's wrong or right, I don't know. All side by side for Derview and Flash Mexi as they came into that. Those couple of turns, now Derview's getting right into the slipstream. Is he going to have a look at this on the inside? No, he's just having to slot behind. Derview with a half-second penalty though. Ooh, Flash Mexi getting a bit out of sorts there. Did well to keep it on the tarmac though and keep it going in a straight line. And his right canter does suck. Fantastic livery on that Mercedes. Some great work gone into that. Dyson 7th, Flash Mexi 8th, Derview 9th, although he is carrying a penalty. So let's just go up the positions a bit. We've got Paul in 6th, he's all over the back of Neil, he's putting Neil under a bit of pressure. This is great racing from Paul. So we'll just go on board with Neil, and we can have a look at Paul putting him under that pressure right up his gearbox. I'm sure it won't bother Neil too much, so he'll just concentrate on doing his own thing through the chicane to go across and start the 6th lap. We've had just over 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes of this half-hour race. Nobody's pitted yet. It's a good exit from Neil. He just needs to try and get a little bit closer to Thomas. Opened up a little bit of a gap from Paul. Paul didn't get the exit he wanted from that first turn. Now, can Neil get close enough to Thomas to make a move? He's definitely in the slipstream. He's definitely going to go for it. Thomas takes the inside line. And that was a good move from Neil. Pushes himself up into 4th. He's got a purple sector as well. Now is Thomas going to come back at him? I think he is. Thomas wants to get that 4th spot back again. Paul just slotted in behind Thomas. He's just going to watch these two battle out for a minute. We'll come back to these 3. We'll just see how Toten's getting out in front. Still the same, Toten, Bailey and Woodrow. A couple of car lengths between each. So no real changes for those 3. Thomas, however, has got himself back into 4th, so I'm not sure what happened to Neil, but Thomas has gone to 4th, Paul has gone to 5th, and Neil's dropped way down in 6th. So Neil must have had a bit of a moment. Oh, sorry we missed that. So Neil in 6th, we've got Thomas and Paul going at it now, Paul just getting his nose in front. That's a great move from Paul. Thomas coming back at him though. We're entering the bus stop chicane. You need a good exit here. Oh, Thomas has. Oh, that was a very late decision from Thomas, but he has decided to come in and change those tyres. So pressure's off Paul now for a short while. In 4th, bit of a gap to Woodrow. He's got Neil Farmack behind him in 5th. So there's a good few seconds between Woodrow and Paul. And Paul has got a few car lengths back to Neil, so I'm not sure what happened to Neil. So we've got Dyson in 6. We've got Flash Mexi and Derview still battling it out for 7th and 8th. It looks like Derview's got the inside line. He has. He's got his nose in front. Easy move for Derview on the straight. Although Flash Mexi coming back at him. Derview got the inside line. Oh, and that's Flash Mexi gone off again. He's done tremendously well to keep himself back on the tarmac. He's going to have a bit of gravel on those tyres though. That's allowed Unforgiven to push through to 8th. I'm not sure if there was a little bit of contact between Derview and Flash Mexi. Nothing intentional, but there may have been a little bit of a nudge at the front there which pushed him off the track. It does look like he's having to fight that Mercedes a bit though. It looks like Unforgiven's gone wide. No, it wasn't. It was Derview. So Derview went wide there. Derview giving the place back. Oh, he's definitely going wide. Picked up a bit of gravel there as well. Threw it onto the track. Derview, I don't think he likes that Supra. Tyres starting to go down a bit now. So Bailey, who's in third position, has decided to come into the pits. Obviously Woodrow and Toton have stayed out. Tyres looking okay. Just over halfway of this race left. So Paul now coming in third. So Bailey in the pits. So if Dyson stayed out, he's going to take that fourth position. Bailey's dropped to fifth. Unforgiven, can he take that sixth spot? I think he will. We've also got Derview in the background, so this could drop Bailey all the way down to 7th or 8th. You see Neil Farmax decided to come in as well. As Unforgiven goes through, Derview has gone through. So Bailey's back out now in 7th position. That may be a good move for Bailey. He's not coming out in any traffic. He's got a clear track ahead of him. He's under no pressure from behind, so that could work in his favour. So as we go back up to our current leader, Toton leading from Woodrow by less than a second. So Woodrow really putting the pressure on now. Neither of these guys have pitted yet. We've got Paul in third, also hasn't pitted yet. So I'll just drop back up to the front too. So Woodrow getting ever closer to Toton. Maybe Toton's trying to save his tyres a bit, wants to go a bit further into the race before pitting. May even be doing a bit of fuel saving as well. So let's just have a look, see either of these two guys come in. So yes, Woodrow's decided to come in. Toton stays out. Woodrow going for the undercut. What is Paul going to do? Paul's decided to come in as well. Jerry Smiles has been lapped. I was just about to say Jerry Stiles takes third, but he doesn't. He's been lapped. Dyson decided to stay out. Now taking that third position. Unforgiven has come into the pits. Derview has come into the pits. Now where's Bailey coming? He's gone through the chicane. He's crossing the start-finish line. Can he get back up into third position? You can see the fuel going in for Woodrow as Bailey takes turn one. Now it's just a case of is Woodrow going to get out before Bailey? It looks like he has. Let's just have a look. We're on board with Woodrow at the minute. No, Bailey's just gone by, so Woodrow is going to rejoin in fourth, just behind Bailey. So that was a good pit stop for Bailey. So Woodrow currently fourth, Toton yet to come in. That's put Paul down now in fifth. We've got Neil Farmack in sixth. Trying to get up close to Paul so he can make a move. We've got Thomas under no pressure in seventh. Unforgiven eighth. You can see nothing in front. Quite a gap back to Derview. Derview's still having that battle with Flash Mexi. Flash getting really close now to Derview. I don't know if Derview's struggling with this Supra, but Flash is definitely the quicker of the two, and I think he is going to make him. He's going the long way round. But he has made it stick. That was a good move from Flash. Good clean move. Derview didn't really defend it, so I think he'd already given the spot. So Toten in the pits now. Let's just go back up to see where Dyson is. So Dyson currently in second. He's just approaching turn 1. No fuel going into Toten yet. I do think that Dyson is going to take that. He's going to take the number 1 spot away from Toten, although Dyson is yet to pit. So Dyson now our current leader. We've got Bailey in second. Unless Toten can get out in front of him. You can see Toten on the right there. So Bailey goes through just as Toten rejoins. So it does look like it was a great pit, early pit from Bailey. So that's put him in second position. He's now got Toten behind him. He's under a bit of pressure from Woodrow. So Woodrow going third, Toten now fourth. Toten, who was leading for most of the first half of the race, got a bit of a fight on his hands now. So Neil and Paul having a battle. There's battles all over the place. Paul desperately trying to force an error from Neil. It's going to be very hard to do. But he's having a great race with these two at the minute. Paul currently sitting in 6th. Bit of a gap then back to 7th. Thomas all on his own. And we've got Unforgiven in 8th again, having a bit of a lonely race now. We've got Flash Mexes, who we saw pass Derview earlier, is in 9th. We've got Derview 10th. Lee Fitzy in 11th, again another lonely race, all on his own. Stealth in 12th, and Jerry Smiles in 13th. You can see just being lapped there by Bailey. So our current race leader Dyson has come into the pits now. That's going to allow Bailey through, I'm sure. As Bailey goes through the chicane and approaches turn 1. I think we've got a bit of a gap back to Woodrow, who's currently in 3rd, but as I say, that will change. So Bailey taking over the lead. Woodrow second, under a bit of pressure from Toten. Toten in the slipstream. Let's just have a look, see if he is. He's going on the outside. So Toten going the long way round. Has got his nose in front. Oh, Joey Smiles did a great job there of getting out of the way of these two guys. He was being lapped at the time. Toten was making a move onto Woodrow. That could have been very messy, so good racing there from Jerry Smiles. Excellent move from Toten. Woodrow not letting him get away though. You can see Bailey's just over 3 seconds ahead of these guys, and this fighting is only going to allow him to get a little bit further away. Woodrow sticking with Toten all the way. We're just going to stay with these guys just for a minute. Let's go on board with Woodrow. He really is not letting Toten get away from him. Using every inch of the track. Funny thing is, whenever I do that, I end up in the gravel or the grass or the barrier. These guys make it look so easy. So just 160 miles an hour, hard on the brakes, all the way down to about 40. Get through the bus stop chicane, and we cross the start finish line to start lap 12. So Woodrow being frustrated by Toten, can't get close enough to make a move on him. Needs a good exit here though. It looks like he got one. Now we're just going to follow these guys through Arouge and onto Kemmel Straight. Let's just see if Woodrow can repeat his move from earlier and take that number 2 position away from Woodrow. I don't think he's close enough to do so. It looks like Toten had a really good exit. So we'll just drop back. We've got Neil Farmack in 4th. He's got a few car lengths to Paul in 5th. Thomas in 6th. Dyson 7th with Unforgiven just behind in 8th. We've got Flash Mexi in 9th. We've got about just coming up to 3 minutes of this race left. Derview dropped back to 10th. I think he's had a bit of a struggle in that Super today. He's on the medium tyres for the last part of the race. We've got Lee Fitzy in 11th. Not under any real pressure at all. We've got Stealth in 12th and Jerry Smiles in 13th. So back up to our leader, really starting to stretch his legs now, Bailey. He's just about 4 seconds ahead of Toten and Woodrow, and while those two are battling away, as they still are, it's allowing Bailey to get even further away from them. Toten keeping hold of that 2nd position though. As we're coming up to the start of lap 13, 2 minutes left. Woodrow a lot closer to Toten now. Toten just seems to find that extra burst of speed from somewhere. Just a stretch of extra few metres ahead of Woodrow, which stops Woodrow getting any closer so he can make a move. The McLaren is quick, and you can see he is pulling away and picked up a purple sector. Bailey with the current fastest lap, a 2:16.5. So we are now into the last minute. We're just coming up to the last minute now. So Toten still in 2nd. We'll have a rundown of the pack. Woodrow 3rd, Neil in 4th, Paul 5th, Thomas 6th, Dyson 7th. Then we've got Unforgiven and Flash Mexi in 8th and 9th. Derview 10th, Lee Fitzy 11th. Then we've got Stealth and Jerry Smiles in 12th and 13th. So it's now back up to our race leader, which is Bailey. It does look like he's going to be the race winner as well. He is a good 4.5 seconds, just under 4.5 seconds in front. This will be his final lap. He's clocking up purple sectors as well, so he's not showing signs of slowing down. Toten and Woodrow still battling it out for 2nd and 3rd. As we see Bailey taking the bus stop chicane for the last time. So after a fantastic race, a great pit stop strategy, flash of the lights, and Bailey is our winner. Toten takes 2nd, Woodrow 3rd. Jerry Smiles is going to come in 13th. 4th is going to be Neil Farmack. Paul E 5th, a great race from Paul. He'll be pleased with that, I'm sure. Thomas 6th. Dyson and Unforgiven having a battle to the end, 7th and 8th. So Flash Mexi's going to bring it home in 9th. Derview 10th, Lee Fitz 11th, and Stealth is going to come home in 12th. Well done to Stealth though, stepping in at the last minute. So let's just follow Stealth. He's going to bring this one win home. So that's the end of the charity race. As I say, still time to donate. If you have a look at the description for the GoFund.me page, make your donation. All proceeds go to the winning team's chosen charity. So all points will be added up at the end of this race, and we'll find out who the winner was during the week, I'm sure. So for most of the guys, or from all of the guys, thank you very much for joining me and watching. We've all got to get off now and get into our respective leagues to start the league season. So once again, thanks for joining me. I shall catch you all soon.